girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So I'm really pleased about to bring you my second Rmalti, and there's a good reason this one follows hot on the heels of the other one. I've been waiting for a while, as I said in my AliExpress sale video, which you'd have seen this on also. I was really hoping and waiting to see the brands that started using the Seiko NH34 movement. They brought out a GMT sports watch a while ago, did Seiko, and it smashed it. It did really, really well. The specs were okay. It's aluminium bezel, hard X crystal. They looked okay, looked good. I was a bit salty for a little while because I didn't get one in. Ordered one, it didn't arrive, had to get a refund. By the time it took me to get that process out of the way, I just wasn't really feeling getting another one in, to be honest. So yeah, I was a bit annoyed. But when I saw this, I was like, had to pull the trigger, had to feature on my sale video, and had to bring this to you as soon as possible. So this is the review for the Rmalti GMT, and is it going to be everything I hope and we all hope it to be? Because Rmalti have just burst onto the scene, and they look like a brand that are not messing about, to be perfectly honest. They look like they're going to do bits. So I'm just going to be quiet now because I know you want to look see the watch. So thanks for tuning back in, and with that being said, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch outer sleeve that it comes in, box inside. Let me just take it out. They call it a custom watch on the box now. That may mean that there's sort of customization you can do in terms of the dial and stuff, because the name, let's face it, is probably one of the weaker points of this watch. Not that I want to allude on that too much too early, because obviously we're going to cover that a bit later. But this is the box it came in, different to the one I received for the RM001. As you can see, I took 2 links out. I did originally take 3 links out, and that's how I measured it and weighed it, excuse me. But yeah, 2 links, very solid screw pins, but we'll touch upon that as well. Up in here, you have got a warranty card, and given the price point, the cardboard probably isn't the best. At least it's signed, but given the price, these are going for an AliExpress, I suspect we could really expect that. Inside, nice velvety material for the box. It's to keep it safe in transit, but let's put it to the side, and then we can concentrate on the watch. What you'll probably notice immediately, actually let me just unscrew this just a little bit, just to give a bit of daylight between that. So yeah, what you'll see immediately is the GMT hand. Obviously, oftentimes you'll see it's red. I've gone for the baby blue. I do believe you can inquire and get the baby blue. I just wanted a blue just for the contrast of the watch. But yeah, red's also available. But let's go into details of the watch, guys. I digress. The model number for this is the RM002. So just one up from the last one. Inside, it's running a Seiko NH34 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. This movement has been one that myself and many other watch reviewers have been waiting for, given when it hit, as the 4R34 hit the market a little while ago with the Seiko 5 GMT sports watch they brought out. And it's quite nice to see that they're now using it in other watches, to be quite honest. I wasn't expecting it out so soon. But yeah, 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, usual sort of specs you get from the next series of movements, and doing a fantastic job at this point, I must say. So yeah, no complaints with that. Very nice to have the 4R34, also known as the NH34, when not in Seikos. So there you go. The construction of the watch, aside from the bezel insert and crystal, is all 316L stainless steel. The case is a mixture of brushing and polishing, done nicely actually. Nice sharp edges from the transitions on the case. Nice brush on the bracelet, satiny brush, also brushed at the sides, and the clasp is brushed with a faceted edge going through, and so is the case back, which the case back is actually quite nice. It's got a lion on there. What that's got to do, I'm not sure, but it's on there anyway. Just some information of the watch, which we'll run through now. Anyway, the case thickness of this watch is 14.6 millimeters. The case diameter I measured from the 9 to the 3. Let me give it a quick wipe, because that's not where the crown is in this situation. It was measuring at 42.3, and when you go from the sort of 10 to the 4-ish position, it was coming in at 46mm. The lug width on this is 20. It does taper down to 18 and back up to 20mm at the clasp, and the lug to lug is 48.5mm, but you can see it's got quite long protruding male center links of the end link, so that does become, if I can get my screen to work, 53.3mm. So just bear that in mind. Quite a long length of the watch, but quite a bit of downturn at the lugs as well, so hopefully it won't hurt it too much. But that's the dimensions of the watch. The case back I've already showed you just a moment ago. I'll give you another quick look. As I said, lying on the back, screw down case back, and inside it's obviously housing the NH34 movement. I'm pleased to see that on the actual case back it doesn't have NH35 written, because on the shots they were having on their website it did say NH35. I did inquire with them to ensure that wasn't going to happen, and they did say that wouldn't, and they've been true to their word, so that's cool. So that's screwed down. The bezel, it's a ceramic bezel. I would like to have seen a bi-directional bezel, given it is a GMT watch, but it's a unidirectional bezel, 120 click. I'll let you listen. Yeah, no problems with the clicks, 120 clicks. Lines up nicely, no bounce, no back play. But yeah, as I said, it would be nice to have been a bi-directional bezel, given it's a GMT. The crown is situated in a 4 o'clock, good size crown, nice bit of pop when you unscrew it from the case. And yeah, at the 4 o'clock position, signed with an R on there, obviously for Rmalti. But let's hope in the future they sort of rebrand a little bit with their Rmalti, because I don't think that's the biggest winner with this watch. The strap material, as I already said, stainless steel, nice bit of taper, nice brushing on it, done very, very nicely. And the clasp is fully milled. It's got 3 levels of micro adjustment and pretty standard clasp, very similar to the one you get on a lot of Pagani design watches and stuff like that. So pretty basic, but does the job. The crystal covering the dial is sapphire crystal, because I tested it. It just looks like a bit of flat sapphire crystal, but it definitely looks like it's got AR coating, because there's not a lot of glare coming off there. And the water resistance, actually you can't see it, the dial was on the back, excuse me. It is 200 meters, so that'll give you 20 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. When I did weigh it, as I said at the start, guys, I weighed it with 3 links out, but I find it was just a bit uncomfortable, so I did take another link out. So it was 172.8 with 3 links removed. With all those links back in, you're probably looking at about 190 grams. So this is not a small watch. Dimensions tell you that, but the weight definitely tells you that. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So you've got a minute track going the outer edge on the rehaut, excuse me. Inside that you've got applied buttons everywhere, but the 3 o'clock position, which is making way for the date and date border. Just below the indices at the, let me just put it to the 20 past 8 position. Let's not mess about. GMT hands hidden, but that's not a problem for now. Rmalti's printed onto the dial, and just above the 6 you've got automatic GMT also printed onto the dial. So apart from the hands, the indices, nothing's been applied. The Rmalti and automatic GMTs printed, as are the numerals. So it does every other, so you've got the buttons at every even number, if you like, and every odd number you've got numerals. And the loom on this is actually very, very good. Shines bright, as does the bezel, so you'll see that now. No complaints with the loom. It probably could do with lasting a little bit longer. I didn't think it lasted a long time, but there's definitely a good amount applied, a good burst of loom, no question. You can see the blue, the dial's very nice as well. You've got a blue sunburst dial. It gives you sort of different shades of blue and purple and black as you look at it. But yeah, that's the dial, guys. As I said, NH34 movement. Take the crown out, it will hack. Put it back in, it will start back up again. You can twist it away from you to put some juice into it. If you pull the crown out to one position, you turn it towards you, you can change the date, and away from you, you'll see you can change the GMT time, which is handy. There you go. So that's the dial, that's the hands indices. The hands itself, in terms of the hour, minute, I like the way they're done. Brushed effect on there, finished nicely. I do like that sort of detail. But yeah, there you go, guys. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly to give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference. And this is what it's looking like on me. A bit looser today, given it's not very warm. When I was wearing it the other day, it was a bit warmer, so that's why I needed to take a link off. As you can see, I probably could do with putting that link back in now. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Very, very nice watch. So let me just give it a quick wipe, and that will take me on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go high with pucker. So what I think is pants. Not a lot, to be honest. There's not a lot on this watch because it's decent. The unidirectional bezel, I will talk about that. Yeah, I think it should have been a bi-directional bezel, given it's a GMT style watch. So yeah, the unidirectional bezel, although it's done very well, I would have preferred to see a bi-directional bezel on this watch. And the name again, I was going to also mention on the Clasp, but I'm not going to bother. Just going to go for the name. I'd like to see maybe a little bit of rebranding, even, or go for a nice sort of logo. So sometimes it sort of softens the name because it's not everywhere. You've got a logo, so you can live with it a bit more. But yeah, that's something to look at as well, Rmalti. So they're the only two things. I'm going to go with the unidirectional bezel, given it's a GMT, and the name. What I think is a pucker is the dial. As I mentioned, let me give it another quick wipe. The dial is very nice, as I said, nice sunburst, giving you loads of different sort of shades of blue and black and purple and everything going on there. The hands, predominantly, as I said, the hour a minute, given the fact they're finished to a nice standard with their brushing. The loom you'd have seen earlier, the loom is done outstandingly well. As I said, could have lasted a bit longer, but no shortage of loom on there. The movement, the NH34 movement, Rmalti, one of the first brands, I know a few have followed suit now, but to actually feature this in their watch. So yeah, I think it's going to be one that's going to be a real firm favourite. The crown, nice pop from the case, as you can see as I press it. Good size, good engagement when you just screw it back up. I've had no issues with the crown whatsoever. So there you go, the crown. The bracelet, the finishing on the bracelet is done very nicely, tapers nicely, screw pins no problem. So yeah, the bracelet and the finishing generally, as with the RM001, as I said before, I can't believe this is a new brand. Their finishing is just outstanding, to be honest. Nice satin brush, nice transitions. Not much to say really. Very, very good. So just to surmise what I think is pucker, as I go with the dial, hands, loom, movement, crown, bracelet, and finishing. What I think is pucker. And would I recommend the watch? Yeah, I most certainly would. Rmalti, I think this is a better offering than the RM001. I think the lug width is definitely where it needs to be with this as opposed to the other one. I didn't have issues with the alignment on the hands or indices, excuse me. So very, very positive. So yeah, I definitely would recommend this, guys and girls. But please let me know what you think about this watch. And maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.